This is Pustulus Maximus from GWAR, and this is Antihero Online.
So the big thing we're here to talk about is the new album that the band has coming out, The Blood of the Gods. What was the recording process like, and what went into getting the record to what it is now?
Well, it started off with we threw a bunch of instruments in a pile and started a bonfire. And then we got the Budweiser truck to just pull up to the studio, and, we killed the driver, stole the truck, threw the body somewhere in the river, and we just drank beer for, 6 weeks or so, and by the time we woke up, we had a record that was finished. But the parts I do remember, it was pretty organic as opposed to maybe some previous works. We did part of this at our home studio, but not home studio, but we have a studio in Richmond, Virginia, where we recorded guitars and some vocals, bass, and we did all of our drums at a place called White Star in Louisa County, Virginia, which where I have sowed many seeds.
When it came to writing the music and creating the sound of this new record, was it more of a shared thing within the band when it came to the writing process, or did it lay heavy on a few single people's shoulders?
Well, this record was probably the best that we've done as far as managing personnel and everybody having creative input to the record. A lot of times people would contribute, but it would be, I can't attest to how every album was put together, but I know it was much different from the last one. Every member of the band had their hands in every song. That being said, a lot of our individual influences really do show. And, there are some songs where, a single member was able to take an idea and run with it without too much outside influence. But the point being is whether or not every member wrote every part of every song, they were there and they were included in the process, which is pretty fucking rare for GWAR to do. Usually people just fucking get in the way of the creative process. But in this time, we actually worked together, which is very rare. But, usually we just fuck each other and fuck each other over and steal each other's drugs in the middle of the night and women and things like that. But this was definitely a collaborative effort between all the remaining Scumdogs.
And did that make the recording process a little bit easier on everyone and make it so that everybody brought their best work to the table?
Oh, I definitely think it helped in the process of recording the record because we didn't do as much pre-production as we would have liked to, but what we did helped. So we didn't go in and waste a lot of time. Battle Maximus, I think, was labored over a lot longer, and I think the reason being was we had too much time and too much convenience to work on that one. So this one, we had to just do what would count. And plus, we got an old guy from Richmond to come out and produce this thing for us. Ronan Murphy had sold his soul to the devil to become a big shot record producer, and the devil being us. So we called upon that favor, and he had to come here and help us make this record.
And for you, as one of the guitarists in the band, what is your favorite track on the album, and which one are you looking forward to the most playing live?
Well, it's hard to say which one is my favorite. There's a lot of good stuff on there. There's a lot of diverse material. Originally I was partial to some of the metal songs that I had written. And I think ultimately I really enjoy playing I'll Be Your Monster probably the best because, that at the core, that's what Pusty sounds like. That's the music that he wants to write. That's the kind of shit, that I get off on. I'm a rocker, in the words of the great late Bon Scott. I'm a roller.
And with the new album, there's a new tour that is getting ready to kick off. What are you looking forward to most on this tour that's coming up?
The drugs and the sex with minors, mostly. That's the best part of any tour, isn't it?
And the tour is going to be stopping in some smaller places, smaller venues. Do you see that as an opportunity to get a little more intimate with the fans of GWAR?
Well, of course. I mean, very, very intimate. But yeah, it's the small clubs, the big clubs. It doesn't really make a whole lot of difference to us. The medium-sized venues are actually the ones that are probably the most conducive to a GWAR show, because I think on a grandiose stage, I do believe there's something that gets lost. There's a connection that's not there. I mean, there's bands like, I don't know, like I've seen, like Judas Priest. They're a perfect example of a great arena rock band or metal band. But then again, that's something different. I think with us, we like to reach out and touch you. We like to reach out and touch your privates, and it can't be done, in a coliseum. We would have to, we'd have to put blood in the sprinkler systems and all kinds of shit if we were to get out there. But, I don't think we are an arena rock band. I think that we are a more intimate, disgusting rock band.
With the experience of Warped Tour and headlining Warped Tour, did you guys kind of get a little bit of a taste of that? Being able to kind of like not connect with the fans all the way in the back like you are normally used to?
No, I don't think Warped Tour, I don't think that crowd, I don't think it quite escapes them like that. Like there's a difference between maybe like a Warped Tour and a festival like Bakken, where there's 10, 20, 50, 100,000 people there, where you just see little dots. I mean, in Warped Tour I had large crowds, but even in the back, you could still see what was going on stage. You could still see our dicks. And I think that was a good opportunity to connect with people, because I noticed that in many places, people would stop and turn to see the spectacle that is GWAR on stage.
And speaking of that spectacle, with the impending tour that's coming up, what are you guys thinking about bringing to the stage on this go around?
Well, typically we just get up there and play our instruments, and people just get on stage with us trying to attack us and steal our thunder, and I'll never quite understand why or how that's happening, but I'm sure you can expect to see Donald Trump and perhaps some new enemies that we've made along the way. I mean, the Blood of Gods even chronicles the war against GWAR that humanity had pursued. And, we even sold out and wrote a jingle for a fast food restaurant. And their mascot, Dickie Duncan, I mean, he's a fucking... you have genetically modified food, but he's like a genetically modified mascot made of food. It's very bizarre and freakish, but, we'll probably fuck him over just like we do everybody else.
And what can humans kind of expect from the new record from GWAR?
You expect to have your socks rocked right the fuck off. And when your socks are off, your feet look stupid in penny loafers. But, it's just a great rock record. It definitely sounds like a culmination of many different GWAR records, but at the same time, it stands on its own. It's not an imitation of the past. It's not, I wouldn't even say it's going to define what we're going to sound like into the future, because I think GWAR is an ever-evolving machine. We want to write great records. We're not in the business of making money because we're still fucking broke.
Touching on that past and future statement that you just made, for a band that's been around since the late 80s to now, what do you think GWAR can owe its longevity of its career to? Is it the shock value of the shows, or is it more about the evolution of the band over the years?
I think the longevity, it just has a lot to do with a lot of fucking people being too stupid to do anything else with their lives. We could have easily gotten careers in management at Burger King, and we would have had, we would have owned cars by now, maybe like a Honda Prelude or something. But, we don't have shit other than the instruments that we take with us on stage. And the reason being is because that's just what we do. That's what we want to do. This is it. I could have any job. I could be a president or a senator if I really wanted to. Or I could be a prostitute like I was born to be, but I chose to be an entertainer.
And that's one of the most important things about, especially when it comes to longevity of music careers. If the members of the band and the people that are participating don't enjoy it, then you see the band slowly start to fizzle out and lose steam, and they end up being one of those Bon Jovi type bands that play just all of their greatest hits live. Do you see that happening at any point?
That happens. Not with us. I mean, the minute that we couldn't play, and that's a strange thing to have seen from both sides as well, because there are bands that I like that come out that I'm very dear and partial to that come out with new records, and I'm just like, I kind of want to see the old stuff when I go and see the show. But you know what? In the same breath, that attitude kind of hurts you as an artist, because when people just kind of say, I don't care about what you're doing now, I just want to see your old shit, that's kind of insulting. But I think GWAR has much more to offer than the crappy music we put out. You have to see the show. You have to see the theater production. The lack of acting is probably what makes it the best. But the fact that no other band's going to give you that, and plus with our music we tell stories of triumph and power and violence and sex, and we bring those things to life on the stage.
That good old fucking rock and roll, the shit that gets people going. But then you add that visual aspect to it when you guys perform live. So it's people are getting to hear the music when they listen to the record, but then with the live shows, they're getting to experience it as well.
Yeah, and you can't really have one without the other. I think, not to say that our music is not important, but if you don't see the show, you're really missing out.
And when you guys are planning for a new tour and getting ready to get back out there on the road, do you kind of think about the elements of the show that you want to incorporate and to make it bigger and better than the last time? Or do you guys kind of just like start from scratch and, build the foundation back up from there?
Well, we always have to pick who are we going to kill and how do we want to kill them and who do we want to fuck, and where's a good place in the set for that? If one of the guys in the band says, you know what, I really want to fucking hit a rock or crack during this song, not during the break in between the songs, like I want to do drugs during this song, we do drugs during the song. We'll have our slaves bring us out pipes and bongs and heroin needles, whatever we want to do. If we want to have sex with a priest, we'll bring them out and fucking during the show, during the song. And that's the best part about being in this band, is you can just do whatever the fuck you want to do. And the only people that'll tell you no are people that can scream louder than you. That's how we get things done in this band. We yell over each other. Sounds like
old school Metallica right there.
Close, except we don't go to group therapy. We have group sex.
That's pretty much everything that I have for you, man. Is there anything that I left off that you want to touch on?
Stay in drugs. Don't do school.